You wake up in the morning, a normal start to your everyday life. You follow your normal routine, you grab your phone to check social media, but your phone is dead. You power it back on and go back to your routine. Wait. The notifications won't stop. Facebook has the most notifications. You open it up to see national news of a young couple murdered at an apartment complex. But not any apartment complex. This is your apartment complex. It happened just right outside. You check your messages. You kill her. Turn yourself in. We're gonna find you. You keep scrolling until you see it. You can feel your hands shaking, you feel dizzy, and your heart is beating faster. A sense of dread and anxiety began to set in. You've never had a panic attack before, but you can't explain this feeling. This is me, you tell yourself, but I had nothing to do with this. It doesn't matter. They have already focused in on you. They know your full name, address, phone number, and everybody in your family. How did they get all this information? Who are these people? These people know everything. They're called internet sleuths. They work by scouring your social media, reverse image searching your pictures. They find your name. They check websites selling your data. The comment sections have your friends sticking up for you, but they check their profiles as well. They will find you. Every crumb of data you put on the internet, they sniff out. They are relentless, and they are motivated. They're here to convince the world that you are a killer, and they are not open to reason. Your life as you know it is about to change. All from a single video, a single post, or a single screenshot. As the investigation continues, the internet grows impatient. Analyzing security footage, comparing that footage to family members of the wrong suspect. Piecing together their own theories, forming evidence out of inaccurate information. TikTok is flooded with theories. YouTube videos are being released, all pointing to evidence that isn't true. That is, until
All right, Joey, thanks. It's 5:02 right now, and we are following some breaking news from overnight. There has been a huge break in the case of the murders of soon-to-be parents Savannah Soto, her unborn baby Fabian, and the baby's father, Matthew Guetta.
San Antonio police arresting a teenager and his father in connection with those crimes. News 4's Christina De Leon joins us now with details on the case and how police found the suspects. Christina, good morning.
Good morning, David. Good morning, everyone. Police say it was Savannah's cell phone that actually led to the big break. They were able to find it at the scene, and with the help of Secret Service, it actually led to the information that led them ultimately to their suspects. Police arresting Ramon Preciado for abuse of a corpse. The 53-year-old did not talk to our cameras as he was taken off to jail. He is accused of helping his son dispose of the bodies of Savannah Soto, her unborn son Fabian, and their father Matthew Guerra after they were killed by his son. Now, police also arresting 19-year-old Christopher Preciado. Police say he is the one who killed the three during a drug deal.
There was a lot of misinformation out there. These two individuals are the only suspects that we were looking for. They were arrested. There were many names being thrown around on the internet. Those people had nothing to do with this. We vetted them and everything. They didn't have anything to do with these murders.
a single shooter using drugs as the primary motive, with his parents helping conceal the bodies. It all adds up. This makes sense. A drug deal gone bad. But it's not good enough. It doesn't fit our made-up agenda. Surely there's more. Something's been covered up. They just won't stop. After the arrest is made, the attention on you dies down. But the damage is done. You had to take down all of your social media. They found your work and told your boss something you never did. Your family has been harassed, all because someone on the internet pointed you out. You're not alone though. Just a few hundred miles south of the Texas border, and 10 years earlier, another man experiences a similar issue. During my investigation into 911 lost media, a YouTuber by the name of Morbid was featured in the Netflix documentary surrounding the Elisa Lam case. He speaks on what happened to him and how he was chastised for simply having a song called the Cecil Hotel. The comments were relentless against him. With constant threats of death and violence, Morbid couldn't outrun the internet. You see, every major event brings out the internet sleuths. From the Zodiac Killer to even recent events surrounding United Healthcare. And everything in between. There's a lot of justification that seems to be echoed amongst these communities that what they're doing is okay, so long as they even get a small portion of it right. But it doesn't matter all the false accusations that have been thrown around before. Only what was done correctly. For instance, during the Boston Marathon bombings, the entire nation was on high alert to catch the culprits responsible. Scouring the media that was released to the public, they found someone. Sunil Tripathi. A young man going to Brown University went missing in the month prior to the Boston bombings. Sunil is described as a gifted man with impeccable intelligence, but he suffered from depression. As the search ramped up for Sunil, just 3 weeks later, the bombings occurred, and all it took was one post to spread like wildfire. Sunil's mother would receive phone calls, hopeful that her son was found, only for it to be internet sleuths harassing and accusing her son of being a murderer. They just won't stop. The names of the suspects were released. A family just wanted to know what happened to their son. And 1 week later, they received closure when the body of Sunil was found.
The search for a missing Brown University student comes to a tragic conclusion. Today, Providence police confirmed that the body discovered in the water off India Point this week was that of 22-year-old Sunil Tripathi, who mysteriously vanished last month. Eyewitness News reporter Mara Kennedy joins us live now with new details from the Providence Mobile Newsroom.
Days after the discovery, students are still coming together to mourn the loss of one of their own.
What's wrong with this world? Because they more or less relate this event to the Boston thing.
Before his body was found, online rumors that Tripathi might be one of the Boston bombing suspects surfaced on different social media sites. Students tell us that quickly fizzled after the suspects' names were released.
Another prominent case still going on was the case of the 4 students in Idaho who were found murdered. This case opened up the floodgates for internet sleuthing. And while I've mainly spoken negatively about web sleuths, there have been a few instances where they have done some good. In the Netflix documentary, Don't F with Cats, web sleuths were able to identify Luke Magnotta and bring him to justice. Yeah, I'm gonna have to walk back on this one. Unfortunately, the internet sleuths involved in this matter pushed a young man to take his own life. The Grateful Doe, a man who died in a car wreck, went unidentified for more than 20 years. He was finally identified after a group of web sleuths correctly identified him, bringing the family closure. However, everything I have just said is what's available on the internet. There's another layer of sleuthing, one that still includes false accusations and harassment of others. You are a police dispatcher. A young woman has been missing for a week now, and your small department is now at the forefront of a missing persons case that has drawn national attention. Your chief sets up a Facebook post, encouraging those with any leads to contact us. The intentions are good, as we're just trying to find her. But then, the calls come in.
Hi, I believe I know who killed, My son's friend is into some bad business, and I think he's a gang member. Can y'all look into this?
Okay, ma'am, we'll take your info and have the investigator reach out.
I've been watching this case on the news, and I'm on a website right now where women are trafficked, and I think I found her.
Okay, sir, can you send us the link and we'll look into it? We have a primary suspect. The boyfriend has been acting suspicious and refuses to speak to the police. The media have become involved, spreading his name across various news channels. The calls keep coming.
Hi, hello. I'm at a Buffalo Wild Wings right now with my husband, and the boyfriend who killed that girl is here right now. Can y'all come arrest him?
No, ma'am, the investigators are still investigating this matter, but I can pass along the info.
Wow. Y'all really aren't gonna do anything about this? Well, Joe's email. We're gonna take pictures of him and send them to you.
Ma'am, please don't take pictures of anyone. Here's our email and you can send any relevant information over. They won't stop.
Hi, I just spoke with the dispatcher, and he said we can send over these pictures we took of the boyfriend. He's over here at the Buffalo Wild Wings.
It wasn't him. This woman took 7 pictures of a stranger who looked nothing like her suspect. She took pictures of him eating, laughing, and drinking a beer. Worst of all, this man was with his family, and he had no idea a couple was sneaking photos of him enjoying his meal while simultaneously accusing him of being a killer. Call me biased, but I'm not a big fan of internet sleuths. But don't just take my word for it. I wanted to bring it full circle. In the r/911 dispatchers, I put out a post asking others for their experience. Not a dispatcher, but a retired officer. My department had a cold case murder where over the 20 plus years it was cold, 40 people came to us and confessed. Ancestral DNA finally nailed the actual killer, and he wasn't one of the 40. Mental illness was one of the biggest common factors. Many were easily eliminated due to their age or gender, as some would have been too young. One guy wasn't even born yet. And others were biological females who obviously couldn't leave a sperm sample. We had hundreds of people calling in tips saying they know who did it. Not a single one was the actual killer. We had a high-profile murder where the suspect was unidentified for about a day. Parents were calling in to the tip line and turning their own kids in. None of those people turned out to be the suspect. I can't imagine the family awkwardness and the aftermath of that. Our county had a missing teenager, presumed to have been killed for being a witness to a gang hit. Everyone thought every 15-year-old skinny black kid was the missing teen. At one point, I had an older caller following and actively trying to block in a teenager on a bicycle because they were convinced it was him. I had to explain to the caller why it was a very bad idea to try to essentially hit a teenager with a car. Spoiler alert, it was not him. There are a few other stories on this subreddit. Feel free to look at it themselves, but I believe these capture the idea of another form of media that doesn't capture the depravity of internet sleuths. But after all is said and done, the world of internet sleuths will never go away. It has only become more prevalent in our digital age, and the lives of many will continue to be ruined by a stranger on the internet.